the painted penis story. One of those experiences which stands out in the mind and kind of lent me towards the spiritual proof as opposed to telepathy, and just so happened couldn't be linked to anything as well. Working away at the computer, trying to write a book, short of content, kind of at a loose end, and bang, flash image in the head, static image of what looked to be elephant underwear. Cross-sectional image, top half of the body missing, the legs missing. It was just framed around, you know, the underwear region. This image was followed immediately after by a devil's head, and I couldn't link it back to anything at all, or at least it didn't seem relevant, and it was like, what the hell's this all about? And this kind of contrasts with previous images that I've had, like say someone I know ripping off floorboards, which I kind of went, they're going into my site, and kind of associated with them, you know, trying to rip it apart. However, it just turned out they were moving house in those scenarios, which i.e. because someone shows you an image out of nowhere, your initial instinct or gut reaction is to go with your fears and start, you know, panicking and start linking it with stuff, and it's like, what's this? And you don't even slow down and actually look and actually put it in a logical perspective. You just go with your raw emotion and fears, which may be why you have to do a lot of practice, you know, before you actually get good on the psychic side, because you have to like shed the emotional side, the emotion of it, and teach yourself not to be bothered by anything anymore, which only comes with time. So perspective and reversing it to look at the perspective of the source is a big part of that. However, as far as images of elephants, underwear, that section of the body, it's nope, doesn't seem relevant at all. And it didn't until the next day when I ended up in town. For some obscure reason, I ended up going into this bookshop that I've never been into before. Gut instinct type thing. And then there was a book that was new in, that I'd never seen before, and then I ended up browsing, and it was in the sex section of the shop, amongst the pantry stuff and that. And when I was flicking through it, I didn't think anything of it until I hit the centre pages, and then right there on the left page was the devil's head I'd seen painted on a male bit on the male body, which kind of made me stop and look as I remembered the clairvoyant images. And then immediately on the right page was the elephant head, and I kind of went, it wasn't underwear, by the way, it was paint directly on the skin, but it was framed in exactly the same way and stuff. And that image, the first one I got, was very distinct because the top half of the body was missing and the legs were missing, i.e. it was a very set piece. And it was like, how the fuck does that work? It's like, at the time it was like I didn't think it could be telepathy, but I suppose someone could have been browsing the books, broadcast it through the air, because it's two very striking images in the middle pages and no new stock. The shop's about 25 miles away, Metro Centre in Durham, and I somehow could have picked up on it, but I don't know but why am I picking up images all the time, and how the hell would I be filtering what information I pick up or not? Surely if everyone's broadcasting images, I pick up on everything, which is where everyone starts arguing God, higher selves, you know, lower self, you're the conscious, and you get given what you give them. Anyway, it was an interesting experience and kind of put me towards spirit as opposed to telepathy. That's all I'll say on that. That, and it's funny when it comes to chatting with girls. Yeah. I forgot to mention on the resisting things, when you start doing meditation, opening up, letting go and stuff, your gut reaction is to shy away from images, so you actually get a kickback response, as though you don't actually want to look there, and sometimes you have to, early dream sequences, you visualise yourself being protected, and you kind of go through to the next segment of the dream, or you suddenly get in control and you find yourself in a room, things like that. And that is probably, and when it comes to high consciousness, Buddha consciousness or whatever, on higher cells, that's probably all that separates the individual from anybody who's developed on the spiritual path, because some people shed the emotion and learn to relax and go with the flow, and maybe that's why certain drugs can help you get spiritual experiences sometimes, not that I've tried that kind of thing, as opposed to other times, because most people are resist and try and resist everything that's shown them type thing, and you kind of, going on more into clairaudience, you kind of shed your lower noisy thoughts, as I'm trying to remember back. There's a difference between your thoughts and their thoughts. It's if you're consciously thinking away and stuff, rattling ideas around your head, it's kind of got a subtle different feel to the other one, that layer that kind of intrudes in afterwards, which generally comes into sniping phrases occasionally, which is what mediums tune into, and you don't always get everything, and you resist. I don't know. It's almost as though you start picking stuff up and your mind grabs hold of it, tries to wrestle control of it, and then runs away with it. And you kind of start analysing it, you start ripping it away, and you go and work with whatever you've got. Ergo, if you've got no experience or no perspective, or whatever information that's being passed on, you will not be able to relate to it or pick up on it, because the more you're familiar with and experienced with, the more okay and cool you're with it, and the easier it is to pick up on it, because you don't resist it more, if that makes sense. You have to be able to have enough experience to be able to relax, open up, so the words come, which kind of probably gets into trance and being able, the traditional medium trance, which I can't do myself, because I can't go that deep at all, so I'm shit at that. I just get the odd random image of like painted penises or something else every so often. A few interesting sex positions as well in conversations with the club amongst auras. It's like, do you talk about that with women? It's like, if I get an image of a suggestion or an MSN conversation, is that coming directly from them, or is that someone else who knows them actually passing things on, and is it relevant, and how much can I get away with here? Yeah, all part of the fun, because I haven't figured that one out yet. It's like, when to stay silent, when to say something, and when to get slapped, show it down. With women, you may as well just speak your mind, I think. Too much?